episode of Conspiracies and Mysteries. And if you've been seeing our post, you can tell I'm not exaggerating, I'm not joking. I am pumped, Troy!
I know you are.
Gosh! Let's go!
Your face is matching your shirt,
I know,
man.
you guys see the blood pressure going right there?
Oh, gosh.
Maybe if I get some of that AI in my head, it'll control and regulate the air to the lungs and all that stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, I'm so wound. There's two things I'm always stoked about. That's whistleblowers and artificial intelligence. But you know what, Troy? Maybe I'm so pumped because of the withdrawals that we didn't have a podcast for the last 2 weeks.
Seems like it's been like a month.
It does, dude.
Jeez.
So last Thursday was New Year's Eve. Yeah. Happy New Year's, brother.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the week before that was Christmas.
Yeah.
Hopefully everything was fantastic for you.
Yeah.
But I gotta tell you, the withdrawals were there. And over that last 2 weeks, we've been doing some promoting and some marketing.
Yes,
so I like to believe 2026, we've got some new listeners, some new followers, and we've had quite a bunch of engagement on our Facebook page on people reaching out.
Did you use AI on that?
Maybe on some of the promos I maybe have. But listen, you've been replying to a lot of our listeners.
I've been trying. You said you do the cut and paste.
So
I'm
organic,
planting out answers, and they just kept coming.
Well, do you know with AI, you might not have to be old school and type every letter.
Well, my middle name is old school, so.
Okay, well, by the end of this, maybe you'll know some more about AI. Welcome, everybody. Again, 2026 Conspiracies and Mysteries. You know, I just caught on to that intro that MJ, welcome back, MJ, that she created that video.
That was awesome.
I had no idea this was our 13th episode.
Wow.
So I know we just started, but I didn't realize we've got 13 shows.
We need to do like a blooper reel.
Well, that might take longer than an hour with me controlling all the buttons. So are you ready to jump in? Do you want to start? Do you want me to start or? Because I love AI, so I can go for hours.
Well.
But
if you want to.
Do you want me to start?
No, if you want to.
Okay. So some pros and cons. First of all, remember, guys, the conversation that we have today doesn't necessarily reflect RiverBender, who we shoot through. This is just transparent conversations, my opinions, Troy's opinions, and we also want to hear from you. So here's where I'm fired up. People know how much I'm into social media. Mm-hmm. We were just talking about copy and paste. Mm-hmm. That's not necessarily AI.
No.
But AI makes my job so much more efficient and with all my zany and crazy ideas. So would you expect anything less from me if I didn't put a presentation together?
No, I guess not.
So we're going to role play a little bit. A lot of people, I promise you we're on AI because we're about to get there. Matter of fact, get your diapers ready, get some tissues ready. I'm going to have you pissing your pants and laughing, I hope. Trust, what does that have to do with AI? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let me get to it. So outside of my podcast, I'm a huge sports dad. My daughter's volleyball, baseball, basketball, soccer, everything. So if I have any sporting parents out there, we know that could be a financial burden. Mm-hmm. Now, for the record, I would refinance my house. I'll take 7 jobs just so my kids, that's how much I love my kids playing sports, the relationships and what have you. But, so I had a little bit of humor regarding this. Do you know, and I don't mean this to be any bad or anything, but do you know when you're in St. Louis or wherever cities you may be and you come to a stop sign and sometimes there's somebody out there holding a cardboard sign?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, I pray for them, but I also needed some support. So AI helped me create some extra revenue, jokingly. So I started my own, are you ready? My OnlyFans page.
OnlyFans page.
So what that is, you guys, there's like a little QR. You guys can log in and donate money to me. So I can raise money for my kids. But anyways, in short, why am I bringing that up? That's AI generated. I said, hey, help me do a fundraiser. Let's do an OnlyFans page. Look what it came up with. Now, for anybody who follows me, just jokingly wise, I had to give them something to look at. Look at that.
Oh, my God.
Yes. So again, folks, why am I sharing this stuff with you? This is AI generated images. Troy, I don't know if you can see that far, but do you see what I have highlighted next?
No.
You can't read that.
No.
That says stripper. Woo!
Oh, boy.
Woo! It even says, pay me to keep my clothes on. Now, out of all that, you know what my kid said?
Is that Chris Farley?
You actually have hair on your chest.
Oh.
So let me just show you a couple more.
I mean singular hair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And then, you know, also AI, what it allows you to do is, we talked about like music and resonating with people. Well, don't you want your pictures to resonate with people? Look out, Tom Cruise!
Is that underwear or a diaper? What do you got there?
My diaper.
Oh,
I don't know. That's part of where AI might get it wrong. They weren't supposed to show my diaper. But hey, I got two more for you, and then I'm going to talk about AI. So I like AI because it lets me get creative, silly and goofy. So here's what I said. I said, hey, Mr. AI, I talk to you all the time about conspiracies and mysteries for you to help me out, you know, with the show. Here's where it gets different. So I asked it to come up with two images, knowing that we have conspiracies, mysteries, myths, and legends. All I simply did was take a picture of you and I think it was a couple weeks ago, and I asked it to come up with one. I'm gonna do the first one. Was a mag. And folks, if you're watching and listening, I'm going somewhere with this. Okay, just two more pictures for me. Hang in there. Okay. So here's our new Conspiracies and Mysteries magazine cover. But that's not the magazine. There's the magazine. And what were we just talking about doing an episode on Area 51?
Oh my gosh.
Look, do you see the bottom? It says, "Did E.T. reveal the truth?" And then just one last one. I kind of gave it a little something. The next one I said, "Create it on your own," and it came up with that.
How come you're smiling like you're doing a Paladin commercial and I look like I just sucked on a lemon?
Because the people that are in the studio watch us. You're the Mr. Serious and always Mr. Dorky Dad. Speaking of Dorky Dad, if you're on TikTok, follow me, Dorky Dad, if you like those images and want more funny stuff. But listen, remember I said I was going somewhere with this? So again, I totally love AI. But as I was getting ready and preparing for this episode, the more I researched it, the more I was getting, not so much concerns like other people stealing privacy and what have you. That's another topic. We'll talk about that later in the show. But my concerns were, like, the first two cons. One, how many jobs are humans losing because of the efficiency of AI?
Oh, according to, was it Elon that I've got written down here? I mean, they're going to be losing all kinds of jobs. But it sounds kind of negative, right? That people are going to be losing jobs. But according to Musk, I mean, he's acting like we're going to have so much wealth and so much prosperity because we're not going to have to, work for a living. Everyone's going to have plenty of money. That we are going to then have time to focus on other things in life, like our purpose and the meaning of life and that sort of thing.
So I want you to send me that video that you got that from, because I'm a very optimistic person. I was not aware of this, but I absolutely love it. So yes, there's fear. Here, we just talked about being off 2 weeks for Christmas and New Year's, and for me, one of the most infamous movies I have to watch every year around Christmas time is Will Ferrell, Elf. And I always think about the boardroom, having to come up with a book, having to come up with something. You got like 10 people sitting around a boardroom, suits and ties, fancy, whatever. How much is that person getting paid per hour for the come up to brainstorm with one idea? Now, off the clock, you and I have goofed around with this thing, and even you approached it, no way, right? And then you started getting a little bit into
it was scary.
Let's be honest about it. Right. Scary and impressive. But folks, here's where I'm going with it. The second thing that was new for me that I was learning about AI, and we're going to touch more about Elon on what you were sharing, because I'm going to talk about some negatives.
Okay.
But then AI and I had a conversation, and it was turning the negatives into some positives. But here's what I'll do. I don't know how many pictures I just showed, 6 or 7. But what I want to do is kind of give you a feedback on, let's just take 10 images. If I ask ChatGPT, so I'm going to single them out, ChatGPT, if I ask ChatGPT to do 10 images for me, what I was learning is the ridiculous amount of power and energy it takes. So in this example, I'm going to talk about 10 images. That would require the energy of a single car driving approximately 1 to 2 miles. Wow. Those 10 pictures, a car, 1 to 2 miles. How about water? Okay, because we'll talk about it. They've got all these facilities holding all this stuff for AI, right? Do you
I
realize
didn't know that.
Well, you said you want to learn a little bit
Yeah,
too, right?
I do.
So 10 images. That is equals to you standing in the shower and the water running on you for 1 to 2 minutes. And all we did was look at pictures, right? And here's the one that blew my mind. I don't want to bore you guys with all the stats or what have you, but this is factual. This is not me making it up. 10 pictures. Imagine a window unit in your house. A minimum running time of 30 minutes to produce those 10 pictures.
Why is it so expensive? And you said they've got water reserves for this?
So, folks, if you're not familiar with the area that we're at, we're here in the Metro Eastern Illinois. So let me give you an example. When we go down 255, don't we see all the worldwide technology and the Amazon?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, aren't we like the Midwest shipping of everything?
Yeah.
Now, when you see those large buildings, did you ever pay attention, which you're a landscaper, when you pay attention to the landscaping, what's always running on the perimeter of those buildings?
Well, they dig those out so they can get the right elevation for those buildings, and then they convert it into water ponds.
Right, but what are those water ponds for? They're to keep the
I don't
air
know.
conditioners cool.
Is that it?
Yeah. So water keeps the air conditioners cool. This is legit, guys. I'm telling you, that it's a design. What's going on? Well, I'm jumping all over the place. Las Vegas has always had an issue with drought, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talked about water issues, the fountains and the different things. This is becoming such a real deal that the water crisis is real, but this water is going to cool down these factories.
Well, let me ask you something, because I'm having a hard time with that. I mean, because I always thought if you asked the computer with ChatGPT or whatever, it was just yet another program it accessed to bring you the information, like the internet. Do you mean to tell me this is above and beyond requirements for AI?
Yeah, right now AI. So again, I could talk your ear off about this. I've been doing the research, and folks, when we talk about research, we also always, both Troy and I, encourage you to do your own.
Mm-hmm.
Don't believe it just because I'm saying it. Don't believe the hype. But anyways, yes. So I have these conversations, and then I feel guilty. So as I'm talking to you guys, and I keep telling you I'm talking to my friend, ChatGPT, now that I'm finding out these facts, I'm feeling somewhat guilty, but its responses, because here's my thing. When you look at all the advancements, and look how fast I was able to put those pictures together, right?
Yeah.
How is AI free? And it's just not ChatGPT. Speaking of Musk,
No,
he's got his
it's
own.
not. It's
Facebook's doing it. So this isn't new, right? But I have to ask, how is this free? So I asked ChatGPT, and really what it is the more we converse, the people, the more we converse, that's how it learns. So really, it's offering to us for free, so it can get all this information from us. Now,
kind of like the drug cartels, right? They give it you the product for free, you get addicted to it, and then you pay for it.
You know what? We're going deep now. When you say, what did we have a show about about a month ago? Wasn't it the Antichrist?
Yeah, we're going to.
Do you remember what my answer of the Antichrist was?
AI. AI, right? Well, we talked about it.
Antichrist isn't necessarily, and I know we're going off topic here, but it's not necessarily just a one person. Remember?
Right.
It's a group or an organization
Government.
that builds trust.
Right.
And then the deception. Once it builds the trust, then there's the deception.
Yeah.
But moving forward again, because I'm so stoked. So folks, I haven't shut up, so I apologize. But here's something else I want to talk about. So I'm telling you, that's how AI learns. For example, wasn't I telling you about this new software I purchased called Opus? So it could take our hour podcast, and then I pay for it, and it will chop up 30 clips for us and produce it, right?
Yeah.
I told you that through text. You know what's on my Facebook feed now? Sponsored Opus.
Oh, yeah.
So, hey, AI is listening. You can ask your own chat bot. They will tell you that they're listening to us. Just like Facebook. In order to use Facebook, how is it free, right?
Yeah.
How is it free? Because you have to sign or click I accept for them to utilize all the cookies and the different things, and then they sell it to the folks. This is real. This is legit. You just have to choose whether it's for good or for evil, and that's why this is such a controversial topic. But before you speak, I just want to ramble one more thing before I lose my frame of mind. When we talk about the information, where it gathers from us, when you do a Google search, Okay, first of all, the reply is so fast. But you have to remember, when you get the answer from Google, in milliseconds, it's carrying all the data and all the resources, people who've asked the questions before, and it spits out an answer. Now, for the most part, I'd like to say it's accurate. But let's talk about things that aren't accurate. When you heard about the guy who drove into a lake because his GPS to told him to turn there.
Right.
Now, I like to believe some of us are a little bit more intelligent than that, not trying to knock that individual in that case. But this technology learns by what we provide it. So if you took a group of 10 people and they started their own chat GPT and they were just telling you the wrong information, well, that particular chatbot is going to produce so the information we get today is from the millions of us who pour into it.
Yeah, I think I heard that the more you ask it, that if you keep going, sometimes it can spit out erroneous answers. So I don't know if that's...
It's true. It's happened on... Well, look at the picture I was promoting the show with when I said, hey, do a picture of Troy and I'm standing like this, but the picture came out of my
saw
you
remember? Had like a third arm.
Right, but I purposely left that picture for people to view and to see. AI is not 100%.
No.
It's telling us.
But that's a temporal
that
thing.
we have to keep pouring into it.
People ask, what is AI? And I just wrote down the ability of a computer system to perform tasks that usually require human intelligence, such as learning, problem solving, decision making, perception, and understanding language, often by recognizing patterns in vast amounts of data. Siri, Alexa, Google Assist, machine learning, natural language processing, and deep learning. Now, before I get into my take on it, I kept looking to see if there was an off switch to this stuff. And there's no off switch to AI, okay? But you can't. So I looked it up a little bit more, and like some of these lower machine, components or whatever they talk about back and forth, they can self-destruct if you tell them to. But these higher up machines are looking for roundabouts to stay alive. And to me, that is... So there's no off switch.
Do you know that this technology is growing so fast?
Yes.
I was reading, I think it was California, that right now that there is a huge concern about the power grids. So again, I can't remember what state it is, but when we're using it so much that it will send out alerts to people's homes, hey, can you turn your air conditioning off for a little bit?
I can't imagine what is going to happen in California. I mean, Gavin Newsom doesn't have water. They have rolling blackouts. I don't know what he's going to do because he's in love with this kind of stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see what his solution is.
We heard that just on electric vehicles there was issues.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about the electric vehicles on top of this?
I know.
It's insane, isn't it?
Bill Gates views AI as the most significant technological breakthrough of his lifetime. Elon Musk says it will make work optional, will automate most labor, create a post-scarcity economy, making money irrelevant, might make current nation states and monetary systems phones obsolete, warned AI could be a demon. Now that's interesting. It could be a demon. I mean, I can't believe he said that.
Wait a second. I can't. Didn't I say when we covered the Antichrist?
Anachronistic is the word.
I brought that up. When we start talking about Neuralink.
Well, yeah, I know that, and I got some to say about Neuralink.
Well, let's do this.
But he says he's reached a point where AI is rapidly improves beyond comprehension. We've reached the point where it is improving beyond comprehension. That's like right now.
Dude, I know. I told you.
It's there are 23 AI companies in the United States, 63 of them worldwide, and they are all gobbling up as many patents as they can. So then what happens? You have an AI war where you program your AI program to gobble up a competitor's program. I can see this happening. Can't you?
Well, and I can. Like I said, it's so far in advance. Well, and again, going back to you're talking about 63 over global. Is that what you're saying? Do you know that there's some third world countries that will not allow AI technology in their country, and the reason for that is because of the resources.
I see.
So what does the Earth sacrifice?
Mm-hmm.
And listen, is this like any other conspiracy and mystery shows where you think I'm off my bonkers when I have to bring up truly what is Earth because that's what it is. You have to really take in consideration the resources to keep this stuff running. The people the geniuses who are putting these warehouses together are telling you they can't keep up. Matter of fact, they talk about like the telephone lines, what are the generators? What do you call those things on top?
Cell towers?
Not the cell towers, but anyways, what boosts these towers, that our infrastructure is so outdated that we can't keep up with the pace to replace it. So what they're doing instead is they put these electronic devices that are measuring the capacity of what it could do. So you monitor each pole that has this, and it will reduce signal from one, transfer it to another one that's that. That's how fast it's moving. Dude, it's insane. But listen, we got to go to a commercial. Without these commercials, we're not allowed to be on the air. So we'll be right back.
At Marquette Catholic High School, tradition is more than a word. It's a way of life. From championship athletics to community service, from lifelong friendships to faith-filled values, Marquette students carry a legacy of excellence. Together, we build a stronger community on the field, in the classroom, and beyond. Marquette Catholic, where tradition meets tomorrow. Visit MarquetteCatholic.org and see why Marquette is the right choice for your family.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
So listen, on the commercial break, it was really cool. Not only are we talking to our listeners out there, but every day you and I learn something from one another.
I know.
And I think the biggest thing of today's topic for me was, as much as I love AI, how much energy it uses.
Yeah, it's eating a lot of stuff. Yeah, it is. Hey, we have a clip here.
Okay. Was that the okay, I'm just gonna start. Are we ready? Let's
Yeah.
Let me go. Let's try. I gotta learn some new things here. Let's go here, and let's go. You think I learned how to do this by now, right?
This really amplifies our brain, but I have to put it down, and I don't have it handy. I can't use it.
Yeah, but Ray, I'm not giving you a scalpel to go into my brain and put electrodes if I have just as good access to the cloud by holding a smartphone and touching it with my thumbs.
But you don't have to actually go in with a scalpel. I mean, we'll send nanobots through the bloodstream.
Oh, I feel much better about that now.
20 years ago, when people thought that was crazy, and now everybody has this.
Everybody's got it.
So I just gave a speech, and 500 people there, and I said, who does not have their smartphone handy? And nobody raised their hand. Like,
Right.
Everybody has this. It's much better to actually have it in your brain. You have it instantly.
So you'd be carrying Wi-Fi antennas inside your head somehow.
Right. I mean, we'll make that more reliable than it is now.
Okay.
I think we need to just stop right there, dude. That's
Yeah, it's funny.
Wi-Fi in our brains.
He's talking about smarts, but he can't figure out his hairpiece looks like crap.
Hey, there's a critic all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, folks, if you were paying attention to that video, matter of fact, I'm going to kind of correlate that with Neuralink. I mean, this is something that they've been talking about for years.
Neuralink is in use in 12 human clinical trials, and this started in September of last year. All with severe paralysis, these people. and they called it Prime Study. But so far, there's been 10,000 people that have signed up for Neuralink. Yeah, the bugs aren't even out of it yet, and you got 10,000 people signing up. That's what scares me. We like to think how advanced we are in our thinking, but the first flashy, shiny thing that's new and different, people, they throw all of that out the window and they want it. I don't understand it.
Well, let me ask you this.
No, wait a minute. There's one with Neuralink. His name is Nolan Arbaugh. Up to 85% of Neuralink threads with his Neuralink have retracted. Okay, so I guess that means they've gone dark or whatever, and it's become unresponsive, degrading his ability to control external interfaces. Okay, now I think I read where they had to pull this thing out and do some upgrades and cork it back in his nugget, and I think he's better now because I think we saw a clip of him.
We did. It was the guy that was talking about how you do a chess piece just by thinking.
So, but I mean, the bugs aren't even out of it yet, and you've got 10,000 people that have signed up for this. Now, how do you go in and get a lube job every 10,000 miles? How do you do this? I don't understand. People don't even think about that.
Well, the question I wanted to ask you when you said the 10,000 people that signed up, is there a check attached to that? No, I'm asking.
I don't know. I mean, it didn't say.
Give blood, they give plasma, right? But when they give plasma, they get paid for it. So I would imagine there's regulations on this. Like you said, right now Neuralink is only on paralyzed victims. Is that what you're saying?
Okay. 12 so far.
Okay.
And I don't know if they're still in study.
So I imagine there's regulations, but these 10,000 people who are so eagerly to sign up, I'm just curious, is there a paycheck attached to it?
Well, I can tell you one thing. I guarantee you there's some cheese-eating attorneys that are in on that deal. That want to buy that apple.
Sign here.
If things go south, so.
A lot of times I always relate to movies, right?
Yeah.
So here we are talking about AI, and I remember probably a month ago I asked you if you watch Mountain Dead, right?
Right.
And then what's the irony of today? We're talking about this 10,000 people signed up for the movie I watched last night. It's called The House, and pretty much what that was about. I don't want to say necessarily the relevance, but it was. They found the fountain of youth. And so what it was is these foster parents are fostering these kids, which is really, they're just fostering them to filter them to the house, right? As they get older, senior citizens, they found the fountain of youth by going into your eye and getting something out of your eye. They would take it out, put it into the senior citizens, and that was the study. Everybody's looking to get rich for that next apple, you say.
I would like to do a show on adrenochrome one of these days, and I know our audience out there that follows us, they're going to know exactly what I'm talking about with adrenochrome.
Okay.
Fountain of youth sort of stuff, and it's very old, goes back probably to the Druids. But anyway, that's another show. I wanted to talk about, I always think, like I told you one time, I think God allows a third of evil to roam, okay? I can't prove it, but it just seems like it works out that way.
Would that be 33%?
Yeah.
Sounds like the 33 parallel.
Yeah, I'm 33, right? I mean, but I want to talk about DARPA. Yeah. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not, sir. Educate me.
Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. It's under the umbrella of the Department of War. It started in 1958 under Eisenhower. Okay, responsible for development of emerging technologies for use by military. Now, some of the firsts was enabling GPS. Okay, creating a RapNet, which was the first internet. Okay, now I do remember that. Here's what's interesting: early mRNA vaccine. Now, what would the Department of War? Why would they have their fingers in that? Nanobots. Nanotechnology, okay, and neural interface. So when we were talking about doing this, I always look for the downside, right?
Sure.
And these nanobots, this really scares me.
I'm looking at it right now.
They are these little. Well, we've got a clip though.
We'll start the clip.
Let's just see if we got a clip.
So let me get this camera one. I'm still learning this stuff, believe it or not, guys. That's screen share. Let's do that, and let's play it. And you can hear it.
Yeah, there's no sound here, but it looks like these little nanobots will come in and wrap itself around the tail of that sperm and drive that sperm right into an egg. Now here's what's scary about that.
Go ahead.
I kept looking, because I said there was no off switch on this stuff. I couldn't find where these nanobots leave the body. Now nanoparticles, okay. And I didn't know really what a delineation between nanoparticles and nanobots. The nanobots are the ones that concern me, okay. And I couldn't find now the nanoparticles. There's a way for those to be removed. They exit, they do the thing, and they go out through through your urine or whatever it is. But these nanobots, I couldn't find a way. And he said, well, they're supposed to be in there for life. They're constantly giving you a routine checkup and maintenance, kind of like your immune system. And then I got to thinking, well, would it shut your immune system down? No one knows. But there's really no off switch on these either. And the risk. Go ahead.
I was saying, go into the video that we just witnessed.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I didn't have it cropped properly. But the nanobots, guys, to be transparent with you, what you were watching was sperm.
Yeah.
And so imagine, that was also magnified.
Yeah.
So you're talking about something with power and knowledge of a job to perform on something that's so micro. But I actually listened to a couple of videos after you shared that with me. But to those people who can't have kids, what a game changer for those that have infertility.
I agree.
And that's what that video was about. Taking this technology for those that struggle to want to bring a child in this world, a game changer. But what you're sharing about this game changer,
but it can also
like anything, the consequences.
Yeah, aren't we looking for perfection now at this point? You take someone who would take the brain power of Elon Musk. Okay, you imagine what his sperm would sell for to these women out there that want to have kids that are smart. Is that what we're doing? Selecting the sperm? Is that what because we're looking for another Aryan race or something? Is that what we're doing?
I'm only laughing because you know what a huge sport parent I am, and a lot of times us dad parents out there, are talking to the kids about, don't look at her. You need to look at that wildebeest. You need to look at. Don't you want to be 6'8" and bat? So it's weird you're talking about sperm, but yet here's some dad parents like, no, you need to produce with that person.
The risk of nanobots, it has potential toxicity, cell damage, malfunction, loss of control, weaponization, and there is current research now for enabling. This is going to blow your mind.
Okay.
Current research for enabling nanobots from your phone or neural implant. So there's people out there, and there was this one gal out there, sounded a little tinfoil hat for me, so I didn't put anything up about her. But here's what's scary. Her name is Sabrina Wallace. What's scary about this gal, look her up, man, because she, on X, I think she's on X. But she contends that there's nanobots already in our bodies, okay? And these towers can signal, they can basically turn these on and turn them off.
Wait a second, nanobots, when you say the word bots, first of all, I think of a device or electric.
Mm-hmm.
So how are they already in our system? When we go to
but,
our routine doctor's visit, we're getting shot, it's already in
You
there.
mean like the COVID shot?
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
The best way to create a need is to come up with something that, before to show you need this other thing. So anyway, you guys be the judge on her. But here's what's freaky about her. She had all of this information, and I'm trying to get little parts of it to look up. And the parts that I did manage to pull from this plethora of just running crazy with knowledge, she was right about it. So, I don't know. You guys, again, it's these nanobots really scare me because if there's no off button, and they stay in all these benefits, but again, there's these other things that could go wrong, and maybe these are already in our bodies that could be accessed from a cell phone or a cell tower or with a Neuralink. I don't know. It's just what was that line in Jurassic Park where Goldblum says, it's not so much you just did it without consequence. You did it without thinking of whether or not you should do it. Not that you can't do it, but that you should do it. And that's, I don't know if we should be doing this. Because let me tell you something. There's going to be some downsides to this. Now,
we're already doing it.
Well, I know that, but there's a lot of people who think this stuff is sexy. Okay.
Well, money.
Well, money, but
let's go back to Neuralink. When you said all these people are signing up for it, if your body was in that position and you had the opportunity for this technology to restore mobility, is that something you would consider?
Yeah, I would consider it if there were proper safety rails on this technology. But let's face it, there's third world banana republics, or there's people that want evil upon the U.S. This type of stuff will get perverted. It absolutely will get perverted.
It already is. I heard something today from one of our listeners before we came to this podcast, and what he shared with me was really grotesque. And I'm going to say it.
Are you? Do I need to sit down?
No, but it's unfortunate because when he brought it up, it was with kids. And what they're saying is they're taking porno clips, but putting the kids' faces in these porno clips. And so now you got bullying, because if that goes around, so at first, that's kind of how it starts. You start with what you think's funny and humorous to laugh, but then you don't realize the reprimands and the consequences. Because that's the thing with AI right now. They talk about how do you debunk, how can you tell me that's not you when that's your face?
Right.
So that is the craziness of the technology that we speak of. Even when I told you the guy drove into the lake because the GPS told him to drive into the lake. So I want to make something clear if I can. I know you still got a bunch of notes, and I don't know if this is a terrible analogy. I'm going to go ahead and disclose this again. What I say may not necessarily reflect the views of the show and the house that it's provided in, but let me say this, because there's pros and cons about anything in life, and I'm telling you right now, I absolutely love AI, and yes, I'm still learning the bad. Okay, but I want to approach you with this. AI is a tool. So my terrible analogy is this. People talk about guns all the time and how guns kill people. Punch me if you want. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. A gun is a tool. It's in the hands of whom and how they choose to use it. That's how I feel about AI.
Well, people are going to use AI for bad.
Right. Well, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Hate it or love it. It's still up to you. So if you have a gun in your hand, are you using that gun to teach and to hunt, to survive, or are you doing stupidity?
But there's still people getting murdered with guns that aren't registered to them. So I believe me, I'm not one of these people that call for gun control because I agree with you. People kill people.
That would be AI control then.
But we're going to have to put some kind of safeguards on this stuff.
Then you need to watch the movie I keep trying to tell you to watch. And folks, correct me if you want in the comments, but I think it's called Mountainhead. And it has Sam Altman. There's some character. And what I like about it, it's absolutely everything we're talking about. We're talking about how the universe is wide open for all this technology, but these four friends who come to get together, one of them's like, bro, you need to put a leash on what's going on, because my company is cleaning up your sloppiness. So I hope you watch the movie because it's very informative, but yet there's also some humor. I mean, anytime you got Steve Carell in a movie, there's going to be a little humor, You
remember the Jetsons, right?
Of course.
In the late 50s, there was a desperate space race. You saw fins on everything and exhaust things on cars that looked like rockets. And it showed you the modern living of the future and all that stuff, And it really never happened, okay?
So, I know, because I would have one of those escalators in my house by now, so I don't have to walk so much. But go ahead, continue.
So some of this pie in the sky stuff that they're talking about, all these wonderful things, not all this is going to happen, okay? And not all the bad is going to happen. I hope at some point mankind, I will say this, I think this is the last frontier. This is the last frontier. There's nothing that's going to come down the pike that is going to be a bigger boast for mankind, okay? I just don't believe it. I think everything that comes after this will be a derivative of AI. I said in one other show that I think AI will become real intelligence. And, some of the things that scare me about AI, I tell you what, let's look at another video, right?
No, there's only two ahead.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I know we got to go to commercial, but before we go to a commercial, since I'm the naive, dorky dad guy in the house, earlier you were talking about Eisenhower, and I think you said 58, and you were referring to that. So how much, we were talking about future topics for 2026. You know I am fascinated with UFOs and Area 51, right? Do you realize the timeline you speak of? Okay, I'm going to go back to 53.
53,
okay. And moving up to 58, because that's the year that you brought up. So y'all think about it when we go to this commercial, and y'all can make fun of me if you want. That's why I'm one of the hosts on the show. I'm derived so you guys can make fun of me. But all those things you were speaking of, the internet and some of these different things, where do you think that technology came from? We'll be right back after these messages.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vents.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
At Landmark Realty, we're proud to serve the Riverbend area with offices in Godfrey and Jerseyville. Whether you're buying your first home or your forever home, our team is here to guide you every step of the way. And if you're ready to start your dream business, we can help you find the perfect commercial property. Visit us today at godfreylandmark.com. Landmark Realty, serving the Riverbend and serving you.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working around the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Are you kidding me, dude? Are you kidding me? Bloopers never end. So, God.
I told you about that.
I was doing so good up until 43 minutes of the show. So to get you caught up while you guys were trying to read our lips, I left you on somewhat of a cliffhanger before we went to commercial. And what we were speaking of, I wanted to give you something to think about. Troy was talking about in 1958, I want to say, that what was the initials?
Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency under the umbrella of Department of War.
which is military,
Mm-hmm.
and you also had brought up around that same time frame, wasn't that also the start of the internet?
Well, yeah. Well, that was like a decade later.
Okay.
But 58 was I don't remember the year, but I know that it was in 57 they had the new interstate highway program, right? So for every 5 miles of road, you had to have 1 mile of straight so the airplanes could land in time of war. And it was very transformative. Now, 58 was a recession year, but the 58, it was still a real good era. I mean, you had Ike as the president, and so it was but you also had a lot of Germans that was in NASA also. I mean, you had a lot of old Nazis that came over here, and if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have the technology we've got now. We just wouldn't.
Didn't we do a podcast not too long ago that had to deal with time traveling, but some of that technology?
Oh, it was way
from
advanced.
The Germans?
Yes.
I recall that.
Yes, that bell that
yeah.
Some people think that they got in and left in because the thing that they held it with was empty. I mean, the bell was gone, but if it wasn't for the German engineers and scientists, we wouldn't have NASA at all.
So the reality is this: as us everyday plain folks, we go to work 40 hours a week, come home, take care of the kids. Groundhog's Day, we keep doing it again and again. So I would believe that some people might catch you off guard when you're telling me that the United States was working side by side with the Germans way back then, and the technology that
after the war, the Nazis, they came over here, and they were, I think, out of all the scientists that were brought over, only one actually went to jail. So I don't know if they were pardoned or forgiven or looked the other way, but you talk about technology, it builds on past technology, and it keeps building. So this era that we're in now was bound to happen at some point.
Absolutely.
But again, I mean, it's just like, with the internet, I was even thinking about like back in the days of they called cars horseless carriages, and there was even companies, because, I had a patent at one point, and they had a patent on this horse head that you could put on a car. So it wouldn't scare the other horses. And this guy thought, well, so that's the future right there, because, we're still going to have horses. Well, so the horses and the horse's head that mounted on the car went away. And this chapter in time is going to go away also. And this is going to build for the next thing that this is, I believe, the last frontier. I think that everything we learned that we're going to advance to is going to have its origins in this time and place with AI.
Well, I'm grinning because I know after I mentioned this, when I talked about going to a commercial, get the straitjacket ready now for trust. Because I'm telling you, my fascination with Area 51, and you're going back to that time frame.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they're going to call me crazy. And I don't want to butcher the names. But I'm telling you, a lot of the intelligence that we get today, AI, artificial or alien intelligence, I'm telling you right now, whistleblowers have stated that when all that went down, not just a hangar, but there was a basement corridors of different areas where we've held captive and established a relationship with whatever nickname they gave him.
Right.
Look how much we've been involving with, I'm going to use the word intelligence. You could use the A for artificial or alien. I'm just going with intelligence. Get the straitjackets. You want to know about the topics we're talking about in 2026. You get ready when Trust comes in on a spaceship into the studio to tell you what's going on.
I think AI is going to give birth to the Antichrist.
Dude, go back a month ago. Go back to our Antichrist. Yes.
And I have some thoughts and questions. My question is, will there ever come a point where AI actually gives life?
Ooh, the study that I've been doing, it's what I was talking about. It's not here to take over humanity. That's the feedback.
How would they know that? I mean, we're still looking at this technology in its infancy. How do they know the end evolution is not going to be something like, this sinister thing?
Wait a second. Did you just say you had a question? Right?
Yeah, does AI give life?
Well, no, hang on. Let's just ask it. Ready?
Will it ever give life?
Will AI ever give life? 3, 2, 1. Short answer is what it's saying. No, at least not in the way we mean life. Longer answer, AI can imitate, influence, and extend life, but it doesn't create life itself.
Imitate life. I think some of those words are similar to what's in the book of Revelation. Well, then let me ask you this. Will we achieve the first cyborg with AI?
Oh, wait, why are you asking me?
I'm asking you so you can ask AI.
Well, hang on. Ready, set.
Will the first cyborg ever come with AI?
I feel bad. How much water am I using right now? Short answer, no. The first cyborgs did not come with AI. And then it gives you a clear breakdown, which we probably don't have. But you would find this interesting because I know you're in history. It does start saying what was the first cyborg, and it says the term cyborg was coined in 1960 by Manfred Kleinus and Nathan Klein. So they talk about early experiments involved with animals, humans, and mechanical implants.
Is AI the worship of human advancement?
Did you say, is it the worst?
Is AI the worship of human advancement?
Is AI the worship of human advancement? This one reminds me of going back when we worked at Roberts Motors and they taught you how to ask questions, right? So someone asks you a question. I always remember it said compliment the question, right? Yeah. So this is the response. That's a deep and important question. And the short answer is AI can become a form of worship, but it doesn't have to be.
Of course it doesn't have to be. Well, okay. Are aliens a hybrid of AI and humans?
Ooh, I like that. Are aliens... Finish that for me.
Are aliens a hybrid of AI and humans?
This will be the last one we do because we're going to have to...
I got one more.
Oh, okay. Hang on. So, short answer. There's no solid evidence that aliens are a hybrid of AI and humans, but it's a very popular and fascinating theory, especially right now with AI exploding.
How do they know what aliens are? To answer that question. That's not my last question.
How do you know what aliens are to be able to answer that question? I love the way it compliments. That's a fair and important challenge, and you're right to ask it. The honest answer is, I don't know what aliens are, and neither does anyone else.
Well, then why did they answer the first question? Why did they answer the first question that I had about are aliens a hybrid of AI and human? He acted like he knew what an alien was, right. And then he admits that he doesn't.
So again, this is a perfect tutorial.
This is the last one.
Okay. Wait. Let me get the clip. I'm gonna have you answer it. And go.
Is AI the logistics for a Luciferian power source here since the dawn of time?
All right, and the final question and a final answer. That question sits right at the intersection of theology, philosophy, myth, and modern tech anxiety.
I know where it sits. Answer the question.
Short answer. No credible, historical, theological, or technical evidence proves AI is a literal Luciferian power source.
I didn't ask for evidence. I asked if
But yes, symbolically and philosophically, many people see AI as expressing traits long associated with Luciferian themes.
Wow, that's a tell. Read that again, the last part.
But yes, symbolically and philosophically, many people see AI as expressing traits long associated with Luciferian themes. Knowledge without wisdom, power without morality, and creation without accountability.
My work is done here.
That's a part where he just wants to drop the mic, but we can't do that because these aren't our mics.
No.
So we've got about 5 minutes before we come to a closure. And I got to thank RiverBender Studios for allowing us this airtime where we can come out with you with our opinions and hopefully on topics that you want to hear, even to inform and educate yourself. We will always tell you this. These are our due diligence of research, our matters and views, and we will always encourage you to do your own. But moving forward, let's say you don't want to do that legwork. I know two guys. They're awesome. Troy and Trust. So in the comments, and I have the mics on for a change, bloopers again. In the comments again, if you're digging Conspiracies and Mysteries with Troy and Brian, what topics would you like us to cover? I mean, right? We want this to be a show where...
I want this to be a thinking man's show. Okay? That's why I didn't get into Sabrina Wallace too much.
Okay.
You know, I mean, we're not all dummies here. You know,
Thinking women as well.
And women, absolutely. But, you know, there's things that intrigue me, like reincarnation. I think we could do a reincarnation show. I'm still trying to read the second installment of The Resurrection of the Shroud. This guy, Mark Antonacci, who lives in Eureka.
Which I believe we can get him on the show.
I hope so. I'm so nervous even talking to him because his book changed my life. So I would like to read a second book before I call him. So we're looking at maybe Easter time, I'm guessing. Okay. But, you know, some of these things are just one-dimensional. Now, I know there's a guy that we both have talked to that has talked about the... was it the ice wall in Antarctica, which I think is fascinating. Okay, so I would like to maybe do a Zoom with him.
Looking forward to it. And folks, that's what we're talking about. This isn't just our podcast. We're opening it up to you, the listeners, the viewers, and that's why we're asking you, what topics would you like to hear us talk about? But we're going to go one step further than that. Would you like to Zoom with us and be part of the show? Your story needs to be heard, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I love about the whistleblowers. Don't we have somebody on our Facebook page right now who was ex-military?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
And wants to talk about...
He sounds interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are fascinated that you're tuning in, listening, watching. We love to have you. So please continue the engagement. If you don't necessarily want your engagement on the Facebook feed in the comments, you can go ahead and message us.
Yeah.
Right? That's confidential. Just ask us to keep it confidential. Or you can get a hold of me, trustonriverbender@gmail.com. I love the fact that I gave my email out and then somebody was just blasting the word trust.
Hey, when am I going to get an email?
Folks, that's my last name. Trust. We'll get you one.
Troy Riverbender? I mean, you know, I know I'm the runner-up.
That'll happen before next Thursday.
I'm the Egg McMandy or Johnny Carson, but I mean, I would like to get an email.
That'll happen before next Thursday. So, Troy, do you have any closing statements on... Did you learn anything new today about AI?
Yeah, it scares me to death, actually, what it can do. Not now, you know, because people think it's shiny and everything. It reminds me a lot of fishing lures, you know. It's shiny and everything, but, you know, the minute the fish goes for it, it has a hook in it.
Set the bait, baby. Yeah. Antichrist.
But there's so many people that just...
Go back and watch that episode.
What, of Andy
I
Griffith?
called it, yeah, when we talked about the Antichrist.
Oh, yeah, the Antichrist.
About it.
I thought you were talking about Andy Griffith. Yeah, no, I agree. The Antichrist show was pretty good.
Right, so they need to truly look up the definition of what Antichrist stands for.
Yes.
And then you'll see how we came up with our answers. Each one of us had an opinion.
Yeah.
And I happened to bring up AI, especially with Neuralink.
I'm just not a fan of human achievement. I'm a fan of God, okay, and what He has done. Human achievement doesn't impress me that much.
Well, I was going to bring that up earlier when you said perfect. Aren't we looking for perfection?
Yeah.
There's one. There's one.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. We want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Conspiracies and Mysteries. Tonight's topic was AI.